All right, my friends, the news that everybody is screaming and yelling about today, but I'm saying not so fast, is that Congress finally did something that apparently the American people have demanded, I guess theoretically for years. The House of Representatives voted 427 to 1 to force the release of the Epstein files. Now, why did this take years? And why did officials fight transparency at every turn? Now, that question alone tells us everything we need to know about how power operates in Washington. The one thing that terrifies the public, and there's one thing that terrifies the political class, is sunlight. This notion called the sunlight. The bill would require the Justice Department to release both unclassified and classified materials related to Jeffrey Epstein within 30 days. Now, that includes emails, communications, financial records, personal contacts, and investigation documents that are gathered over the decades. See any problems with this so far? It also requires the Attorney General to provide a list of potentially politically problematic aspects, but to provide a list of politically exposed individuals linked to Epstein. Now, not suspected criminals, not alleged conspirators, simply powerful figures who maintain contact. Now, Washington is nervous. And I know nobody cares about this because you've been told that this is the most important thing in the world. This is the most important thing in the world. This is going to be the biggest nothing burger ever, and for various reasons. Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, two members from opposite parties, joined forces to introduce the legislation. Marjorie Taylor Greene supported it. Congress moved forward. Who's this? Maybe, I don't know, honey. Can you close the door for a minute? I don't know. I'm in the middle of a live thing. I don't know. Honey, I don't know. I'm live right now. I don't know. So anyway, so Congress moves forward. Let me go back to what I'm doing here. Everything's going crazy, all right? Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, two members, obviously different obvious sides of the aisles, joined forces to introduce the legislation. Marjorie Taylor Greene supported it. Now, Congress moved forward. Then Speaker Mike Johnson issued a warning. Transparency must not expose children or victims. This is what I've been saying. He also insisted that undercover agents and confidential methods must also remain protected. No, what he will not accept is using embarrassment or political sensitivity as excuses to hide names. Now, that's the battle line. That is where this fight will be decided. That's what's critical. Now, Rokon has said what millions believe. He wants the emails. He wants the photos. He wants every trace of who met with Epstein even after his conviction. Now, that includes academics, bankers, donors, politicians, and prominent figures still working in powerful positions today. Now, the media call this drama. It's not drama, it's accountability. Or is it? What about people who don't want their names to be listed? And here is the double standard Americans recognize clearly. The government had to be sued, pressured, and embarrassed into releasing basic information about Epstein. Yet with Sean Diddy Combs, every accusation becomes a headline before investigators finish reading the case file. Epstein was protected. Diddy is pursued. The contrast is stark. This is critical. Epstein's flight logs were released only after years of pressure. His financial documents remained selectively presented. His largest donors were never exposed. Ghislaine Maxwell has remained silent, and the system never pressed for names linked to her testimony. And meanwhile, new claims against Diddy trigger immediate coverage. What's the difference? Epstein touched the elite. Diddy didn't. And something else must be asked. If Epstein moved freely among wealthy circles, who else knew what? Silence is not neutral. See, silence is complicity. Epstein didn't operate alone. That fact has been quietly ignored year after year. So the victim protection argument is justified, but must not become a shield for the powerful. Speaker Johnson wants edits made in the Senate to protect minors in active investigations. Okay, that's reasonable. What is not reasonable is burying the names to preserve reputations. You see, at some point, lawmakers must choose sunlight, to use that great Brandeis line, over secrecy. America rarely demands honesty from its institutions. It demands at least equal treatment. Epstein served as a social hub for donors, celebrities, politicians, people in the media across all the parties. Yet only he and Maxwell face charges? That's not justice, that's containment. This is important. I love this. Mix it up. Trump's not worried. He shouldn't be afraid at all. But a lot of other people are going to be. And you know what? Tough titty, said the kitty when the milk went dry. Now, the House vote is historic, but its real test will come in the Senate. If the bill stalls, it will show that power still outranks accountability. If it passes, good news. It may finally reveal how deep Epstein's network ran. Now, either path carries consequences. The Epstein case is not about headlines. It's about whether the United States, our country, our government, can face its own reflection. Justice has to be consistent. It must be evidence-based and free, completely free and devoid of any kind of political calculation. If Epstein had protection while others escape scrutiny, so be it. And the truth has already been sentenced. Period. That's the way it is. The American people, you and me, want answers. We are tired of redactions and excuses. This bill must lead to disclosure. It must not die quietly in committee. Pay attention to this. Make sure you let everybody know your thought. If justice means anything in this country, then the Epstein files must be released in full, in toto, and completely, and without political interference. Only then, my friend, only then will we learn whether the law still applies equally to everyone or only to those who lack power. This is so big. You know it, and I know it. Okay? This is important. And remember, with Trump, the rules have changed. This was his running point. This is when, remember, Pam Bondi started all this nonsense. This is the chance for him to come forward and do something about this and let people know precisely what it is that he wants. What is his thought? What are his ideas? What are the things? What are the points? What are the means by which our country stands for something? For far too long, there has been 2, 3 different tiers of justice. There's been our justice for you and me, and then these bastards. Listen, this isn't perfect. Epstein's not the only person. Epstein's not the only one involved in this stuff. Epstein is not the only person who has been involved in this lunacy. I understand this. There is a sick, vile, putrid, and putrescent version of all of this. And let me tell you something right now. I want you to understand this very, very specifically. We've got to get to the bottom, because this is the tip. This is the little furuncle. This is the whitehead. You pop this and let the rest of it ooze out. Let the purulence ooze out. For far too long, we've been told, don't worry about it. That's the way it goes. Nothing to see here. Move right along. Nonsense. Remember something. The people who really are pushing this are not the ones that you think. It's not necessarily Israel. It's not necessarily Ehud Barak. That's a part of it. The sextortion part is not even the real story. What Epstein is about is money laundering and banking. And that's the issue. That's what they want to keep from you. This sextortion business, this honeypot business, that's a limited hangout. That's a tip of the iceberg. That's not what we're talking about here at all. What we're talking about is something even bigger, badder, bolder, and more serious. If you care about anything, if you honest to God care about anything, you are going to stay on top of this and do something maybe for the first time. I want you to call everybody that you know, everybody in your immediate chain of command. I mean, your senator, congressperson, and I want you to copy each other. And I want you to tell them that you want them to do everything in their power to expose this from top to bottom. Don't sit back and just say, oh, okay. Don't merely tweet. Don't merely like something. Don't merely watch some cable news show and think that's it. You've got to take an affirmative step. Let people know once and for all what you think. I'm going to say this again. Starting now, not next year, not the first of the year, starting now, you're going to become more active in your party, in your country, in the goings on of your republic. You're going to email. You're going to go to house.gov, senate.gov, get the names and addresses of the individuals who represent you and let them know. Copy them so that each one sees that the other one's there. And you say, I want you to do everything, or ask them, what are you doing to expose once and for all the horrors and the crimes hidden from the Epstein files? What are you going to do? I demand an answer. Put your name, put your address, let them know. They will keep track of this, and make sure you keep track. If a week goes by, put at the top of your second or your subject line, second attempt or second try or third try. Let something. You cannot merely sit back and just watch what's going on. You can't just watch the world and say, oh, that's nice. Let me see what the cable news comedy show has to say. Let me see what Candace Owens says. No, that's not participation. That's letting other people do this. That's watching what other people comment on. You might as well just throw in the towel. What you have to do is to make sure you are a part of this as to what's happening. Seriously, be a part of this and let them know flat out what you think. I can't emphasize this enough. President Trump can't do this without you. For the longest time, we just sit back and we just watch and we just think everything's going to be done. We're just quiet. Well, not me, but a lot of other people. We just sit back. Remember, the rules have changed. President Trump is under more pressure now than you can imagine. Let me explain this to you. He is under more pressure than you can possibly imagine. And let me also tell you something. Believe it or not, he is still as powerful as you can imagine. He's not perfect. This hoarse voice and all. He is not perfect. He does things which I don't understand. I was on a news program and we were saying that MAGA's through, MAGA's dead. Bullshit. It's not even close to being through or finished. Nobody asked us about this. Nobody asked us. We haven't lost any faith, and neither should you. So make sure, let the president know, email him, email the White House, call the White House, say, good for you, Mr. President, we're with you. Let's expose this once and for all. He's got nothing to hide. Remember, Pam Bondi was the one who really started this. Pam Bondi awoke the sleeping giant. Do I make myself clear? Good. That's all I want you to know. Now, on a commercial note, as you know, every year, or ever since COVID, millions of folks have really started buying preparedness supplies. You know what I know. During times of horror, during emergency food is critical. Remember that one. You know, when hits the fan, there are four things you need. There is, of course, water, food, energy, and ammo. Can't help you with the ammo, but this I can. But there's a big mistake most people make, and they really haven't thought about it, with their emergency food supply. They don't have any way to cook it in a real emergency when the power is out or the grid is down. And if you don't think that's possible, you're not paying attention. That's why our friends over at My Patriot Supply created their Black Friday special. And the link is right here in the description section. Follow the link. It comes with a 4-week food supply, plus, which is very important, plus $150 worth of free gifts, including everything you need to prepare your emergency meals, like a cook stove, fuel, and fire starters, plus water purifier, a bug out bag, and much, much more. It's the complete survival kit your family needs to ride out natural disasters, civil unrest, or anything worse. It also makes a great Christmas gift. No kidding, but it's only available through Black Friday. So hurry now. Head to My Patriot Supply, no, but specifically preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. It's in the description section. Use the link, preparewithlionel.com. With all the uncertainty in the world right now, we simply can't afford to be unprepared. So go to preparewithlionel.com. It's in the description section, preparewithlionel.com. So, my friends, you've heard what I have to say. Make sure you let your thoughts and comments known. Don't sit back and just kind of say, well, that's nice. Watching cable news is not enough. This may come as a shock to you. It's nice. It's fun. It may pass the time, but it's not enough. You got to someone. Seriously, I Can't say this enough. I don't know what people think is going to happen. Right now, this country is under complete and total attack. Remember, we have midterms coming up. And I was on this show, I'm not going to mention which one today, but it was pretty that Americans care anything about what the opinionati are saying, you're out of your mind. Because we see America is under attack. America's under attack, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Have a great day. Thank you so much. We have many, many more coming up. Stay tuned. Stay subscribed to Lionel Nation. You never know when I might pop up, which makes no sense. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. And until we meet again, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you.